And to close things off, right? Because we've just been talking about streaming this and Oscar nominee that and all that kind of stuff. We haven't talked about any movies, and I saw a film, and I'll talk briefly about the film because I might as well. The Underdogs. So this is a sports comedy film. And the only reason why I decided to watch this in the first place is because it's Starry Boy Snoop Dogg, right? And well, this is not the next reason why, right? But if you're familiar with Snoop Dogg over the years, you know that he is a fan of American football, right? And us from the Caribbean, like we can't relate to that at all. Sorry, we just do it. When I was in the States back in 2011, like the college that I was at, they used to have they had a football game. Sorry, I didn't even bother to see it. But I do know how adamant Americans are to sit down and watch football, right? Cause yeah, my roommate at the time, yeah, he brought the boys over, and they had snacks and shit, and they were sitting down to watch friggin' NFL. Like I think it was a Super Bowl, but it was something similar to that. So I know how real that sport is, right? It's kind of like Trinidadians with cricket, right? We just love that shit, right? So it's like that. So I didn't go into this expecting to hate the show because it's about American football. Like no, what you get me with a great underdog story, haha, or at least just some captivating story that is built around a particular sport. I don't care what it is. Like I will watch it and I will enjoy it. I don't care if it's about lacrosse or if it's about Marco Polo in a friggin' pool or whatever. I will sit down and watch it if there is a great story and there is a character or characters I should care about, right? And here's the thing about this show, right? So this is one of those shows, right, where like, all right, so just get back to Snoop Dogg, right, just for a sec. Yes, he is a huge fan of American football, right? The man actually I actually learned this after the fact. He actually has his own league, right? So he actually gets these young players and grooms them, trains them or whatnot, or make sure they get proper training and whatnot, right? And then eventually they go off and they play into like bigger leagues or like NFL stuff like that, right? So that's cool, right? But I know that he had his own football team. I remember that because way back when, I don't know if you guys remember this. I remember that. Snoop Dogg actually had a reality show. I think it was on MTV or VH1. I think it was on MTV. And yeah, part of it involved, this little coaching thing that he used to do with his, I think it was with at least one or two of his sons. I remember that
He
specifically.
didn't have a music video. You know a music video with that where Mark 10 and Dub C or West Side Connection.
All
Uh,
right, good thing you bring up that, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
the group
I
is
remember.
the East Siders.
East Siders, thank
And
you.
they had a song called "I'm Loving It," and there was a great
Yeah.
moment with cocaine, right? Kokaine. I used to do the sort of George Clinton zoom 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 in the middle. Like that video hard, eh? Like say what you want about American football, but that video real fucking that. I love that video. And I love the fact that Snoop actually referenced that same song because there's like a sort of a reworked version of it. So it's not the exact version, but you hear like the East Side has come back kind of vibe. There. You hear that call and response thing in
Yeah.
that piece of music in this show here. So I was like,
Yeah.
all right, I like that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I
that
mean, my
video
thing is
real
that
hard.
my
You
thing
should
is
check
that
it
I'm
out, right?
not American football fan myself, but every American football movie is almost amazing, right? I mean, from classics like Remember the Titans to Waterboy, they're almost always good, almost always well shot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Waterboy's
What
not.
a boy had. What a boy had.
Yeah.
Gridiron Gang
Yeah.
with the Rock was hard. I went
The
I went
one
to
with
cinema and see
the
that
one
shit.
that they remake
I know
with
she
Adam
just
Sandler that he remake. I forget the name. It with the prisoners.
oh
Longest Yard,
the
right? Yeah.
longest yard. I remember enjoying that, even though I saw that once, but I never saw
Okay.
the original. I always wanted to see that.
Burt Reynolds,
That's
right?
with Burt Reynolds, by the way, right? Yeah. So, in no way am I gonna come out and say that I am some connoisseur when it comes to these types of films, right? I know why they're there. I know why they exist, right? The mere fact that this come out about a couple weeks before Super Bowl
Yeah.
Sunday, I mean, like, come on, like it's
Right.
kind of obvious, right? Come on, right? So, what this is about in a nutshell, right, is that Stu plays Jason, right? Jason Jennings, or two G's, right? He was this big NFL star back in like the 90s and 2000s, and he get a lot of fame from doing all these great touchdowns, and he had a particular dance, all that kind of stuff, right? The man had
So
merch.
was it a crip walk?
You know,
Please don't tell me it's a
yeah,
crip walk.
It
Okay,
wasn't a
alright.
crip walk. It would have been interesting if it was, but it wasn't, right? Yeah, he was on the box of Wheaties. Yeah, he used to be the poster child of Wheaties at a point in time, and the man like just acquire a
Snoop,
lot of
you're too skinny.
wealth
You're too
over the
skinny for
years.
this. That's my problem. Go ahead.
He too skinny for this, all
Yeah.
of it. I know,
Yeah, I
right?
mean,
But
you
again,
tell about
yes,
this thing,
because
and
the
it's
man
like,
is
wait, Snoop
slimmer.
played this character? Alright, if it's so.
All right,
Yeah.
so in the flashbacks, there's not a lot of flashbacks, right? Yeah, it's a younger fella playing him. I will not be no. Well, actually, I'm reading up here. It's not his son, his actual son who plays him,
Okay.
right? I thought that he got one of his sons to play him, but apparently not, right? But yeah, so long story short, now he is now washed up. All them deals done. He tried to build his career back. He's still rich, but he still trying to build his career back. He doing this podcast thing. So like, all right, okay, see what you did there. All right, cool. His agent is played by Carl Penn of all people. Like, hey,
Okay.
you understood word?
Okay.
Okay, right. Because, Snoop is weed and, Harakuba, right? Weed, aha,
Right.
right? That's a joke. And the idea is that, he tried to build his reputation back because, yeah, people, especially like on ESPN, just call him a piece of shit because they think that, he just a crass person, he's cussed people out, he not good, he not nice towards people and whatnot. Like he just want to be by himself. And that's where he is basically all alone in his mansion, right? So he goes like after this quarrel that he has with his agent at like the agent's own workplace, right? Yeah, he just jump into the car and sorry to say it's in the trailer. So he drives off and then this bus runs into it. And just how it just looks so blatantly fake. Like just
Yeah.
go and see the trailer. It just look bad. It look real bad, right? And they play it off for laughs too, even though
Wow.
there's one little TikTok meme that they do that was kind of funny. It was kind of funny, right? But it's because it's a TikTok meme. That's a joke, right? So, because he was doing shit like because he was being a nuisance now, right? That's what he was accused at in court. Yeah, he had to do community service, right? So his thing is that he had to go by this park and shovel dog shit, right? That's what they have him doing, right? While he is there, he runs into this football team. It's just like these preteens, right? These boys, just more or less, learning how to do it, right? And it just so happens that not so much the coach, but the one who kind of watching over them is an ex-skill friend of his, right, by the name of Charisse, right? So he's like, all right, well, the idea is that he try to get with Charisse now because he just kind of he like I mean don't get me wrong, Charisse real fine. She played by Tika Sumter. She fine. She real fine, right?
Okay.
I say that she isn't, right? But at the end of the day, Jason is a piece of shit, right? So he now have to kind of sell the fact that what, yeah, I'm a cool guy. I could be around your kids and whatnot, right? So it's like that. So through some circumstances, well, actually he runs into his old coach, who's played by George Lopez. He decides, here's what I got train these whippersnappers, right? I'm gonna make them into the best football team in LA, right? In Long Beach, right? So it's like that. I should mention too, prior to making that decision, he runs into an old friend of his by the name of Kareem, who's played by Mike Epps. So it's like, all right,
Okay.
we kind of do it Friday though, but instead of Ice Cube, you get, you get Snoop Dogg because yeah, they do the kind of argumentative, I could cuss you out, but we boys kind of thing. They do that dynamic. They actually do that very well. That's actually one of the strongest aspects about the show, right? And everything else from there is just. Yeah, it's this team, right, which is now called the Underdogs, right? Because yeah, Snoop named them the Underdogs, right? And yeah, it's about them, winning this particular competition, and it's all that stuff that you'd expect from a show like this, right? So as I say, right, one of the best elements about this show here is, yeah, is the dynamic between Mike Epps and Snoop Dogg. I really feel like they have a lot of chemistry. Yes, it's about just talking shit and smoking weed, but yeah, they do it well. And I think that Mike Epps is still funny for his age, right? I'll give him that, right? Also, Snoop himself, he is just so charismatic as a person, right? That you will just watch anything that he's in, right? I think that was just the problem with the show. Sorry, yeah, because even when he's playing an asshole, because that pretty much is who he is until he starts to warm up to the kids, and you realize, yeah, you know what, I really care about these people. I care about these kids. Sorry, yeah, he's just pretty much a dick. He's a douchebag, right? And they real sell it off for laughs, right? But unfortunately, where the show ultimately fails is in two aspects. One is in the laughs. This was barely funny to me. It have a few like bright spot, like a few moments where I kind of chuckle, right? Like I would confess, right? Even though the show kind of let you know early on is this type of show, right? Where we are cussing a lot, we dropping a lot of fucks, and the kids themselves are gonna cuss a lot too, right? So I think it's like they try to do like the bad news bears kind of thing, but then again, I
Right.
never saw the bad news bears. I never saw the original, I never saw the remake with Billy Bob Thornton, so I don't know, right? But yeah, they just try to do like is these kids, but they crass and this cussing thing. Not a lot, right? But the moment where Snoop meets them for the first time and he like they talking shit at him, he's like, oh, look at how washed up you are, right? He's saying like, nigga, you know who I am? Like I'm Jason, I'm Jason Jennings, bitch, and all that kind of stuff. That was kind of funny, right? Because I didn't expect that he would have go that hard on them kids. Okay, like he doesn't watch like, these little kids and saying, fuck y'all, eh? That was funny, right? But what they just but what they decide to do, and this is even worse when they bring Mike Epps into the story, is that they just keep doing the same joke. It's like, all right, I'm coaching y'all, but I gotta talk down to all. I gotta talk shit to all you. I gotta cuss all you out like if all these teenagers or whatever. And that's the joke. Like a cussing little kids. That's the joke, right? But that wears thin very, very, very fast, right? And then also too, like just in terms of what it is, a sports film. Yeah, it's just cliche, stack on top of cliche, stack on top of cliche, stack on top of cliche. You don't even have to know a lot about football movies to know where the story is going, right? Because yeah, there's like little to no surprises, like everything you see coming a mile away. They do nothing new to the table. Just the only sell of it, unfortunately, is Snoop Dogg, and that's the thing, right? But here's the problem. Just having him be there is not enough, Joe. Like, you have to give him a proper story. You have to give him characters that I genuinely care about. Just because Snoop is an asshole and you get to smoke weed and cuss little kids out, that's not enough for me to care about the show, right? Like, I really tried to care and I just didn't, right?
The song like Bad Grandpa, one of them kind of again.
Or,
or Bad Santa.
like that, right. Where you're selling me on how crass and how much of an asshole the lead is, and that's the joke, right? But then eventually he warms up to the kids and you're supposed to like him, even though he's still an asshole. They do that, right? And then I noticed, like, I'll wrap it up here. I noticed in the credits, I saw a name, Jenna. When I saw the name, I was like, all right, that's why the show is what it is. I saw Kenya Barris as a producer. And when I see that, I was like, all right.
Exactly right. Okay,
Yep.
all right. Yep.
Is that, right?
Yeah.
And what I mean is, right, is that he is doing shit, and I should mention, he is responsible for two shows that made it to my worst of list. One was a dishonorable mention. That will be You People, which was about worst of list. And he actually...
Why he just began
Yeah,
scripts?
and he actually directed that shit. That's actually his directed debut. I don't see that. And White Men Can't Jump, which is a remake that nobody asked for. And yes, while I
when
felt what
listen,
it was doing, I get what it's trying
I
to
don't
do.
I don't bring up this talk all that much.
You know?
But you see when people talk about industry plant, he sound like an industry plant.
Really?
Yeah.
How so? Tell me more.
How is he began scripts? you getting
True.
You getting our budget? Are you getting them thing?
I know that's a good point because like it's an MGM film. It actually came out on Prime Video, right? And the man gets Snoop Dogg and Mike Epps to be in this shit, and
But
yes, those
the
two
product-
people are gonna sell this shit to them.
Yeah, it's been the laziest bullshit I've heard of.
That's the
So it's
thing. Like, I just watched this, but it's like this show not doing anything. Like, it not. And look, listen. Like, I'm not asking the show to elevate, the sports film. Like, I'm not asking it to be like the new wrestler or whatever. Like no, right? Or Iron Claw, whatever it is. No, like the show knows what it is, right? It's about crass people who realize like it's more like this whole football shit really matters, right? Let's hunker down and let's really put in effort, right? Yes, but it's stuff that you've seen a million times before with different sports in different films, right? And this show just did nothing, right? It was just so lazy. Like, just lazy to the writing, lazy to the characterization, lazy in the comedy, you know what I mean? Lazy in the dramatic moments as well, too. Okay, yeah, they have a few dramatic moments, too, but it's like, dog, right? Like, I've seen this shit hundreds of times before. What are you bringing new to the table? And I'll wrap up here, right? So, unfortunately, having Snoop Dogg be front and center is not enough. Him being a football fan is not enough, unfortunately. Him having his own league and I love the fact that he is drawing attention to what he's doing outside of rap, outside of music, right? I like that. I like that, right?
Right.
But still, you had to give her a story that actually works, that actually connects. You have to give her, and it's a comedy, so you have to give her humor. And I got little of that. And like I said before, having grown ass men in their 50s, because yes, Snoop Dogg is in his early 50s, and I think Mike Epps
Yeah.
is around there as well too. Talking grimy. He's like, yo, shut the fuck up, and get that fucking ball, man, to a bunch of kids. And yes, they're talking back at them, right? But at the same time, it's about their livelihood. There. It's about them winning this thing. There. So after a while, again, the first time I see it's kind of funny, but afterwards it's like, nah, man, that's just in poor taste. And I understand it's not about taste. This show is not about taste, but when you want to bring in the dramatic aspect, and once a kid in the end, it's like, well, I mean, come on, make up your mind. Too little, too late, right? So yes, this was a letdown, man. I really, really wanted to like it. But again, having Snoop Dogg be front and center and him seeing lines and smoking weed and whatnot is not enough, Joe. I'll close this thread. Like you can say what you want about Snoop as an actor, Dread, but man, really serious about this trend. Because I'll tell you, this is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is actually probably the first film released through his own production company, Death Row Pictures. No lie, the man have his own production company. That is great, and I want to see him do more, especially in this stage of his life and career, right? But stop giving him bad scripts now. Like please, dog, Soul Plane was in 2004, folks. Like now we in 2024, Trey. Let me just stop it though. Let me just move on from that whole Soul Plane shit. You know what I mean? Like that happened, but let's move on from this, please. Like give the man better. Like give him better scripts, please. Come on, Kenya, do better than this too, right? So yeah, rating wise for me, boy. 2 out of 5, man. I want back my money. Yes, I watch it home, but I want my money back. And I know a lot of people will go and see this and watch it home because it's Snoop Dogg. But again, him being there is not enough, man. You had to give him a reason to care, and him being there is not enough, man. But I do hope that he continues making films out of his Death Row Pictures brand, right? And I do like the fact that it does touch on something that he's genuinely passionate about, right? Because even though I was kind of bored throughout the whole film, yeah, you could tell that this man really care about football that much to actually make a film about it, right? And really show what his own foundation or whatever it is doing. So I like that, right? But again, it's a comedy. Give us something to laugh at, not just grown ass men cussing little ass kids, man. Like that shit gets very old very fast, man. But if you like that kind of shit, you willing to watch that for like 90 minutes, yeah, go brave, man. But for me, there's so much other sports films out there that I would watch over this any day, man. So yeah, this was a huge misfire, man. But again, I want to see more films come out of Death Row Pictures. But yo, Snoop, don't hook up a Kenya, like that man is just get scripts and just do nothing with them. Sorry, that's just how it is.